No.
So, pocket I just want some. The one that
Sir.
How are you, sir? Good.
We'll address that during this talking points. Okay.
All right.
I'll speak on that later.
Okay.
And,
I did.
I was late class. I haven't been there in a few weeks.
Thank you for calling me back.
Yeah, he was too busy going to San Tropez and
Ma'am.
Europe.
Good evening. How are you?
And played poker.
Wait, you guys give me the shortest chair.
Yes.
Lift it up.
So I'm there. And this lap. Hey, you're Commissioner Sweetwater.
Te he dado hablando.
And I played with a bunch of legit.
Yo creo que la bajó a ver. No.
I look at him, and you never know.
Coño, pues
I'm commissioner, I'm like, now everybody's looking at me like,
Dale, mira, cambia la música, la mía.
smile to it.
No, cambia, cambia lo mismo. Cambiar.
He goes,
Actually subió.
I don't know. No, I watch it with my mom, and I'm like,
Share slow.
one of the people I'm always watching with my mom. So my mom's married to Jose, I'm like, yeah, my deal. No. You're, oh, I know who you are. I didn't want to start. You're the kid that just broke up with her. Nice kid. They started fucking with my table. Everything's a regular.
Do we have the...
He wears weird ass glasses. I think it's part of the strategy. But no, he just got out. He's got skill.
Hey, Marcus. Look at the tie. Hey, Alex. Show the tie to Marcus.
You have
Look at the tie. Nice.
the new one? Yeah, just no, pero...
1 minute. Can you give that to Isidro?
Yes, sir. No, really. Thank you. Everything, I appreciate it.
Dásela ahí.
This is the other one here.
Put them all here.
Anybody heard about me?
Yeah. He's right there. Marcus.
Does he like this program like that?
It's like that. It's part of the swag. It's part of the swag.
Yeah, I can tell. Over here.
It's usually,
Mira. Isidro.
it's usually he walks into the vacation. Oye, tú sientes ahí. Tú te sientes, a ver, aquí.
All right. Let's get this going. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Regular commission meeting, Monday, September 11th, 2023, 6 p.m. Commission Chambers, 500 Southwest 109 Avenue. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Clerk will note all members present.
Wow. Okay. All right, so let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, as you guys know, today is September 11th. Before we do invocation, I would like to have a moment of silence for all the lives that were lost on that day for a cowardly act that was done to the United States. If you could please just remain. Thank you very much. Marcos, if you could lead us with the invocation.
In Jesus' name I pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us the gift of life. Thank you for giving us the gift of service, allowing us to serve as leaders for our city. Being the city leaders, it's our responsibility to lead the city into the next generation. Thank you for the health and safety of all our residents. Dear Lord, I just want to thank you for allowing this great nation to continue being the greatest nation in the world, the greatest military force in the world. 22 years ago, we were cowardly attacked by a cowardly force that shook fear around the world. But America stood fast. America stood fast and firm, and we're greater today because of it. Hopefully, I'd like to say that we'll never be attacked again, but when you are the greatest nation in the world, people are always going to continue attacking. So it's my prayer that you continue to guide us and lead us and shower us and protect us with your cloak and glory, Lord. Continue to bless us and grace us with health and safety. Allow us to make the decisions necessary to lead this great city. Please continue to protect our men and women in law enforcement, the fire service, and the greatest military world. Lord, it is in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Marcos. Okay. All right, so, Madam Clerk, do we have any special presentations?
No.
No? Thank you. Okay, presentation of Employee of the Month Award. Move on from that one. Presentation of Officer of the Month Award.
After the presentation, come back to me.
Okay.
After the chief.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to present the Officer of the Month Award for July 2023. Now, this officer could not be here with us today, but I'd like to proceed with acknowledging and commending his endeavor. Officer Ignacio Menocal is our July 2023 Officer of the Month. Officer Menocal not only completed his patrol responsibilities, but he also assisted the training unit with certifying personnel in many different categories. This training included firearms qualifications, ballistic shield, CPR, less lethal taser, and response to resistance. In-house training is done yearly and is crucial to our department and our personnel. This training keeps officers up to date with departmental and state mandates while identifying training gaps and building on our strengths. Officer Menocal has demonstrated a very strong commitment to this police department, huge dedication in assisting our training unit as needed without complaint, and always willing to participate and help out. He brings decades of experience, and he is truly appreciated. It gives me great pleasure to name Officer Ignacio Menocal with Officer of the Month for July 2023. As I said earlier, he could not be with us here today, but we wanted to acknowledge him in the presence of everyone here tonight. Thank you for your time, and all first responders that are here tonight, former military, thank you for your service in keeping our nation safe.
Thank you, Chief. Congrats to Iggy Menocal. All right, Mayor.
I will bring next month, the one for this month, and the one for next month.
Okay.
Okay?
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
Two of them.
Go ahead, Mayor, I'm sorry.
Go
Until
ahead.
you were finished.
Go ahead.
No, I would just want to recognize the 10 police officers that went to the hurricane.
I was actually.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir. Go ahead. I don't
I got that
want
as
to take
part
it
of my
away from you.
report.
Go
We'll
ahead.
do that.
We'll do that later.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't want to interfere with
Yes.
the police department.
Okay, so we're gonna go move along to 7. Reports of officers, board, and committees.
None.
Any additions and deletions to the agenda? Y'all
Mr.
have-
President, there are a couple, and it's a little convoluted, so let me go through the explanation.
Go ahead.
Okay. So first off, item 10A is being deleted from the agenda.
10B.
I'm sorry, 10B. You're correct. 10B is being deleted from the agenda
Okay.
and being replaced with the items on the attached memo for the additions, which is going to be 10C and several other items. Excuse me, I'm getting a telephone call. And then one of the items on the addition, item 11M, like Mike, is being itself replaced because there was confusion as to which was the correct one. So the commission has been provided with the memo and then the replacement item for the memo. But at present, for the consent agenda, item 10B is being deleted and being replaced with item 10C. The difference between the two is that they cover exactly the same item, except, and it's to correct a scrivener's error, an error in the drafting of the document. However, the title itself contains a scrivener's error. The title that corrects the scrivener's error contains a scrivener's error. So it's being replaced with a corrected version. So we would need a motion to amend, to add to the agenda, and including the item that's been identified as item 11M, like Mike.
Move to amend and attach item M.
Did everyone understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll guide you as we go through the process.
Okay, no, just making sure. Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Villanueva and second by Commissioner Yanez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, so it passes. All right, so moving to 9, any petitions, communication, or responses?
None.
All right, so 10, consent agenda.
Okay, the
Second.
consent agenda contains the
Discriminatory.
10C that's been added, okay, which is
Correct.
just a correction of
meeting,
the
so-
scrivener's error.
All right, so
Second?
we have a move by Commissioner Villanueva, second by Commissioner Riz. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you. All right, so moving to staff items. A resolution of the mayor and commission of the city of Sweetwater adopting the tentative millage rate of the city of Sweetwater for fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024 pursuant to the Florida statute section 200.065. Trim bill setting date, time, place for public hearing to adopt final millage rate for the city of Sweetwater, authorizing city clerk to advertise public hearing. First public hearing, trim requirement. Open to the public hearing. So no one's approaching. Closed. Okay. So-
Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Madam Clerk, do we have to read anything more into the record?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Please
There
do.
need to be,
Thank you.
Yes.
let me flip over to it. So you would need to read the whereas clause for the 11A, hold on. Announcing the public meeting, and the section 3, announcing the second public meeting.
Section 3, sorry, go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Reagan. The
Section
whereas,
If you, would you like me to read it?
go ahead.
Okay, so it's announced that the second public hearing required under section 200.065 of the Florida statutes to adopt the final millage rate for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2023 and ending September 30, 2024 will be and is hereby set in the Commission Chambers, 500 Southwest 109th Avenue, Sweetwater, Florida, at 6 p.m. on September 25th, 2023.
Okay. We have a motion.
So we are looking at
It's for the
Monday,
fiscal year.
September
Just a trim.
25th at 6 p.m. Is that
6
correct?
p.m., correct.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Anybody have
Final.
a problem with that date?
Nope.
Move.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Yanez?
Yes.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz?
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva?
Yes.
President Ray?
Yes.
Okay, it passes.
So it passes. B, a resolution of the mayor and commission of the city of Sweetwater adopting the tentative budget of the city of Sweetwater for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024 pursuant to Florida statute section 2023-065 trim bill, setting date, time, and place for public hearing to adopt final budget for the city of Sweetwater, authorizing city clerk to advertise public hearing, providing for an effective date, first public hearing, trim requirement, open for public comments, public hearing, closed.
And
Go ahead,
same
Mr. Attorney.
process of the previous one. The second public hearing required by section 200.065 of the Florida statutes to adopt the final budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2023, and ending September 30, 2024, is hereby set in the City Commission chambers of the City Hall, 500 Southwest 109th Avenue, Sweetwater, Florida, at 6 p.m. on September 25th, 2023.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have anything? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio. Yes. President Ray,
Yes.
passes.
Thank you. Item C, an ordinance of the City of Sweetwater Commission amending the Code of Ordinances City of Sweetwater, Chapter 36, Workforce Housing, as it pertains to elements related to definitions, workforce housing agreement, eligibility of households for workforce housing units, affordability controls, maintenance of rent affordability, density bonus requirements, and application and enforcement, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. First reading, Mayor Diaz. Go ahead,
This
Ms.
is,
Mayor.
this is continuing on with the system. I think I spoke to every one of you, and I think it was pretty clear. We keep adjusting as the regulations are changing elsewhere. We need to change and make sure that what is needed for our city is done in code and done properly. So therefore, unless you have any explanation, questions,
I'll second that. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes.
President Ray,
Yes.
he passes on first reading.
Let me get some water. Okay, so we're moving on to D.
Yes, some water.
Thank you, Robert, for writing this. Had to get some water before. So.
actually, you can't take all the credit. There's a lot of other people that wrote a lot.
I just wanted to blame him.
Get some
That's
water.
Let's
good.
just blame him.
Get some water.
Yeah,
Get some
yeah,
water.
you know, the arrows could go that way. They'll work.
I'm just trying to read
He's
it.
tough.
Hopefully, my vision doesn't go kind of up and down.
He's tough.
An ordinance of the City of Sweetwater Sweetwater Commission amending the Land Development Code, Article 1, General Provisions, Section 1.02.00, Definitions, Article 2, Zoning, Section 2.02.01, Establishment of Districts, Section 2.05.00, University District Regulation, as it pertains to elements related to intent and applicability. This is one I always go back. Definitions, uses, locations of buildings, minimum lot requirements, floor area, height, density, landscape, off-street parking, structured parking, zoning relief from certain requirements, and creating section 2.05.24 community benefit program, section 2.05.25 limited expansion university district overlay, section 2.05.26 university district streetscape, section 2.05.27 university district responsible growth initiatives, amending Article 3, consistency and concurrency determinations as it pertains to specific methodology by public facility, amending Article 4, development design and improvement standards as it pertains to elements related to dimensional design, criteria, street, sidewalks, and right-of-way improvements, and off-street parking and loading. Article 5, accessory structures and ancillary uses as it pertains to wireless supported service facilities, amending Article 6, signs as it pertains to district regulations and definitions, amending Article 7, relief as it pertains to administrative variances and waivers, and creating section 7.07.00 special use permits, providing for severability, providing for codifications, and providing for an effective date. First reading, Mayor Diaz. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. This, by the way, you read it very well, Mr. President. It's a lot.
You can breathe.
It's a lot.
You can breathe. You can breathe.
You can read. So, as you well know, for several meetings now, we've been bringing work in progress, and we continue to do so. This is something that we set, Vera, myself, and of course the industry, represented by a very competent attorney that is here, and other people that are also sitting in the audience, and of course our building and zoning department and as a whole. This is something that we're working. This is the best solution between all of us. For some of you that told me about the University City, I understand a lot of people and residents were confused and upset that we're trying to change the name Sweetwater. That was not the case. It was just but clarified also into University District. So that's been part of the codification and part of the improvements. Besides that is everything else that goes to play. How many units, how many we put here and there, and also capacity, and what's the result of everything, and what does it mean for our people that are living now in certain areas, and so on. So it's very complex, and it's very difficult to go into this completely up here, but I would once again tell you that any questions or anything you need to know, Mr. Vera is here, and also he will be at your disposal to be able to answer any of your questions. This is dealing with a little gift that we got with the state, and I want to leave it there, but I think every one of you understands, based on what we discussed, that this is a way for us to make sure our residents are respected, and that we could build the future of Sweetwater together properly, and that we could do it in a way where it won't hinder other people. So we're trying our best with the circumstances that have been given to us. It hasn't been an easy road, but again, with the confidence that we have with everybody working together, I want to thank those in the industry that are here for really stepping up and understanding that they're investing in the city of Sweetwater. Not only are they investing, but they look at this is something that's theirs for a long time, and they want to give the very best that they can. There's others that might not think that way, but at least I know the ones that are here do think that way, and I'm very proud to say that in talking to them as a team, we've come up with good communication, good conclusions. Of course, they battle hard for their industry, and I don't expect anything less, but we battle hard for the citizens of Sweetwater. So together we've come to some kind of a middle road, and what you see before you is what it is. So once again, I'm very proud of this, and I think this should be it moving forward. Hopefully, with God's help. So I think I answered pretty much what it's for, without getting too technical in the matter. So if you have any questions.
Yes, sir. Sorry, through Chair.
What?
George.
Yes.
This item we met about a couple of weeks back. I went to your office, and this is more like a solid with everything on it. You know what I mean? So I see here, because I was reading it over the weekend, and the height of the building is also going to change. Parking is going to change. Can you go a little bit more, so I don't have to go through the whole thing?
Okay, basically what the parking is coming down to is one parking per bed versus what we had before. It was 0.5 for 2 beds. The height of the building, we changed the format as to how to calculate FAR. We did away with the FAR to enable to open up design and get better buildings out here instead of just concentrating on the FAR. The height of the building overall to the tippy top of the mechanical rooms or everything is 320 feet versus the 220 that we have now.
Okay.
And that includes the garage and everything. It's all in there.
What about the off-street parking?
Commissioner, this is what we discussed in my office. We were making sure that we would not have an issue with the parking This is a result of the negotiations and working together with the industry and us. As I promised you, the idea was that we didn't create a nuisance for these buildings parking off-street. Therefore, these negotiations and everything have been the equivalent of that discussion. So one of the things that they wanted is to be the ability to be able to grow and do the buildings to the maximum potential of what they could do. And we revised and did things back and forth so we could be very well poised moving into the future and making sure our citizens that have had many issues, as you well know, because you discussed that with me, will not have those issues in the future because it would be self-contained, not only for them, for the residents, as you heard, one parking space per bed, which is very important that you guys understand that. And the industry is agreeing and has agreed to that. But not only that, but those that have some mixed-use businesses at the bottom, they should have also space for those businesses to be able to be in their structure, so it doesn't create a problem outside of that structure.
I want to move. I work with George, details by details, so I'll move.
I second that.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes. Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
President Ray.
This first reading, I gotta read this all over again, second reading, so,
We'll have
yes.
very soon.
Yes.
Forgot it.
Alrighty, an orders of the City of Sweetwater Commission amending Article 4 of the Land Development Code, creating Section 4.10.00 on urban design and architectural standards, providing for a repealer clause, providing for severability clause, and providing for an effective date. First reading, Mayor Diaz. Mayor Diaz.
Open to the floor, sir. Excuse me. Open to the floor.
Oh. Open to public comments. So no one's coming forward. Close public comments. Mayor Diaz.
This is something that, again, Mr. Rivera stepped up to the plate once again and created a type of design and the way our buildings are going to have a certain look. And that way we could keep a constitutivity of, but you go ahead and add something else for it, George.
Yeah, this is basically some standards set for the design industry, so we could have a uniform city as far as the design of the buildings and all that. We're not telling them exactly how to design them, but there's certain regulations within this ordinance that will help them, guide them as to when they're designing the building itself.
All right, I'll move this.
Second.
Moved by myself, second by Commissioner Diaz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
President Ray.
Yes.
It passes on first reading.
Thank you.
You know, I want to say yes every time he says Commissioner Diaz. I like, I might tell him.
All right, so G, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater selecting a proposal.
You
For-
skipped F.
You skipped F.
Oh, I did skip it. If I put a check mark right beside. Sorry. F, an ordinance of the City of Sweetwater, Florida, amending Section 2-1 of the City Code of Ordinance to provide for new design of official city seal, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. First reading, Mayor Diaz. Over to
Thank you,
public
Mr.
comments here.
President.
No
This is
comments?
something, as I talked to you all, that is personal. When I first became commissioner and auxiliary officer before then, pension and so on, one thing is we had a seal that seal basically reflected the bridge, palm tree, a sun, and so on. It was a little outdated. Then they came in, they did the new seal with a book and, you know, touch on education. I respect that. But we didn't have much left of what our founding fathers in Sweetwater left. The houses of the small people got torn down and for making other buildings and other things. But what was left was the bridge. The bridge was in symbolic of what the seal is about, because that's the only piece of history that we had left. That's the only piece that when the Russian circus troupe that came through that broke down on the street, that ended up staying in Sweetwater because their trucks could not go forward. That was God sent, in my opinion, because eventually the troop leader became the mayor of the city after they incorporated and made the city of Sweetwater in 1941. And I know the historian would love to jump up and tell you all that, but I'm trying to do the smaller version of it. So what happened was that, as I promised you, I was going to try to make a seal that was reflective of who we were in our past and our future. And I think that's the result. I didn't take everything off the old seal. I simply asked my artist, my personal artist, which is my daughter, that's also vested in this, because this is where she grew up all her life. And she came up with this version of it, that is a family looking in to the future, but it also states on the top, God, family, country, and the city of Sweetwater, Florida, 1941. The police version is going to have on the bottom police, and that's about it. But as promised, I think this is reflective of us now, and it's who we are. It's the palm trees are going to be a little bit more visible. They're going to be brought in a little bit, little adjustment on the color of the blue, but everything hopefully is to your liking, because hopefully it won't change again, because the idea here is about where we come from and where we're going. So, and by the way, I want to be real clear in case some people say that, the book, FIU, and this and that. FIU is part of us, but our history comes from something else. And that's where our seal should always originate from, in my opinion. So we all work together. Cities for everybody. We're thankful for an incredible fourth place university in the nation, and public universities. So we're thankful, grateful, and at the same time we'll continue to work with them and moving forward always. So in case, just for those that might be looking at this and think differently, no, that's the case.
To the chair.
Go ahead,
Mayor, then you see the name, could it be like in blue so you can see it
yes.
better?
Yes,
That's
you're
the
talking
only-
about God,
Yeah, God,
family,
exactly,
and
exactly.
country.
If you see it, far away,
No,
you'll be
that-
able to see it.
Yes, it's just that she
That's
didn't
the
have the
only thing I
time
have.
with the kids to fix it before this meeting.
No, but it's just like, you can see it better because
Absolutely.
like they wash it and you can hardly see it.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes,
with that I
she's-
move.
I've heard that, through the chair. I've heard that statement, God, family, country, somewhere. It's not coming to mind. God, family, country. I don't know where it comes from, but I also move.
All right, give me 1 second, because we have,
Commissioner Yanni.
no,
Through the chair.
No, yes,
Diaz
for-
needs to speak.
Through the chair,
Oh,
Mayor.
I'm sorry.
Mayor, I'm agree. I'm okay with it. I got one question. Have you done a study how much it's going to cost the city to change all the?
We're in a time that we are redoing uniforms and giving out uniforms. The study hasn't been done because I think that it will try to work through it and the patching and everything else. We'll try to keep it to the lowest cost possible. But I think our identity as we're growing, and we've grown quite a bit, we're not the little city that we used to be when I was first mayor here. When I was first mayor here, we were 88% residents and 12% business. Today is the total opposite, okay? And I would tell you that we need to start looking at some things that we've done, change them around and continue to be more professional and grow. That's what you guys all told me, and that's what we're gonna do. So as to the cost, no, but we'll move it around.
Okay.
All right, so we have a move by Commissioner Yanni, second by Commissioner Villanueva. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanni,
Yes.
Commissioner Rings,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
President Ray.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say yes. Yes. Item G, now it's item G's. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater selecting a proposal for installation of electric gates, providing for authorization, providing for funding, and providing for an effective date. Mayor Diaz.
As you guys know, we want to make sure that our employees are safe, some that work hard and get out late, sometimes in the back and sometimes in the police department lot. People tend to get confused. We had a couple of elderly walking in the police department. They pull out pretty fast in case there's an emergency and stuff, and we don't need people going into an area that really is an area that's authorized area to be in. So therefore, one of the things that I've realized that, except for this lot that's west of us right here, the other lots where the employees park in the back and the police lot, we need to find a way, and we did look at different mechanisms. And so I worked along with our director of maintenance and also several other people, and try to figure out how's the best way to do it. So we came across 3 companies, 2, 4, but 3 bidded, and will be doing the gates that will open and close for the employees to come in and then to leave. But it will be a secured area, and it will also be an authorized area, obviously. So only authorized people should be in those particular areas. And in today's world, I think it's important that we make sure that we secure not only our parking areas and stuff like that, but also our city hall and our elderly center and our parks. Our parks, again, this is a citizens building, but at the same time, we want to make sure it's good for everybody and that everybody respects the rules. And so this is part of the start of it, to be able to make sure everything works just right. And I think by having these gates, we would take it no different than any other city or any other place.
Okay. I couldn't say that's probably the best thing that our employees will have. Not only our employees, city employees, but also our police. In the world that we're living in now, that there's so much hate into our officers. I don't condone any of that. And the more we can keep them safe, again, not just our police, our employees, the better it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and move this item.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
No, just kidding.
Taking it back.
President Ray.
Yes.
I say yes to police.
I was gonna say, you were the first one there.
Everybody look at it. Everybody went like that.
All right. Moving on to the next one, H.
No.
Well, we're going to move over to
We move over to item
M.
11, M like Mike.
correct.
Yes.
But
M
there
and
is the alternate
OPQ.
version.
Correct.
So do you have that? Or
Yes.
would you like me to read it?
I got 'em here.
You got it?
The
Okay,
memorandum.
good.
Staff item M. An ordinance of the City of Sweetwater City Commission amending Chapter 2 of the City of Sweetwater Code, Article 9, Code Enforcement Procedures, Section 2-372, Recovery of Unpaid Civil Penalties, providing for a reappealer clause, providing for a servability clause, and providing for an effective date. First reading, Mayor Diaz. We open to public comments. So no one's approaching. Close public comments. There it is.
There we go.
You good?
Yeah.
Do we have any
Here's
questions
what,
on this?
let me do this. Unless, do you guys need to ask questions from
I'm ready to
anyone?
move.
I'm ready to move as well.
I
don't know
thought
about the
so.
rest of the commission.
Unless somebody
You have
has
a
to put
question?
something on the record.
Question?
You have a question?
I second it.
All right, so we have a move by Commissioner Villanueva, second by
I don't want
Ruiz.
that on the record. I don't know.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes. Commissioner Reese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
President Ray,
Yes.
okay, it passes.
All right, N, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater approving acquaintance of certain vehicles for the police department, of authorizing open market purchase, authorizing expenditure of funds for said acquaintance, and providing for an effective date. Mayor Diaz.
Move.
Second.
Third.
They
Go
need
ahead,
it.
roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Okay.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Absolutely, yes.
President Ray,
Yes.
it passes.
Right, next, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater approving contract and invoice with ADT Security Services for the provision of alarm system for the police department, providing for authorization and providing for an effective date. Mayor Diaz. Open to public comments. Closing public comments.
As usual, fireman singing.
I'm gonna go ahead and move this item.
Did you
Second.
close? Did you close?
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, close.
Very close.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it, second by
Commissioner Yanni.
Commissioner Yanni. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
President Ray,
Yes.
it passes.
Moving on to the next one, P, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater authorizing expenditures for the purchase one police service dog, providing for authorization, providing for funding source, and providing for an effective date. Mayor Diaz,
Move.
open to
Second.
public comment. Give 1 second, guys.
You
Open
don't
to
need, you
comment.
don't need public comments
You don't
on
need
this.
public comment.
No, it's not public
No.
comment on this.
So we're going to move.
Chief, through chair.
1 second. Go ahead, Mayor Diaz.
Alright.
Sorry,
Kill-
Commissioner Diaz.
I was gonna tease you, but, okay.
Yeah. Is this one dog that we're getting because one is retiring, or are we getting it, we're doing an add-on?
So, for the record, Noel Gill, Deputy Chief of Police, City of Sweetwater, 500 Northwest 109th Avenue. With that said, sir, this is to retire a dog that is currently under medical care. And we need to retire the dog as soon as possible.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right.
Chair,
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
what
Mike.
dog, what are we getting, Malinois?
So this will likely be, on Wednesday, we're going to go to the selection. So exactly, it will likely be a Malinois, but we're not sure. It could be a Shepherd as well.
It's gonna be the same vendor?
Same vendor, yes. Gives us the training and
Yeah.
everything else, and the sustained training as
I
well.
like those Malinois.
And this is a humane way to say thank you also to the animal, that dog that becomes a partner with a police officer, and to ensure that when we place that officer is, everybody's involved to make that decision and make sure that decision is done correctly.
He's been here for a while.
Through the chair, can we find out whose dog is this?
Yes, this is going to be canine.
Oh, I'm
Bo.
talking about the officer. Whose officer's
So-
dog is?
Sergeant Hopwood's dog.
What's his name?
Hopwood.
Hopwood.
Okay, that's the name of the officer.
That's
Yes.
the name of the
Okay.
officer.
Is it Nero?
No,
Midnight Sergeant.
Yeah.
No, the dog name is Nero.
he passed.
No,
Oh,
it's
Nero passed already.
boss.
All right, so
It's boss.
Thank you, sir.
With
so we
that,
have a motion. I'll motion this to second by Villanueva.
Commissioner Yanio.
Roll call,
has
Madam
a
Clerk.
motion.
Oh,
Yes.
it was her
Green.
first, but I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it was-
Yanio and then second by Villanueva. That's fine. Roll call.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes, definitely.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
President Ray.
Yes.
It passes.
Item Q, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sweetwater approving invoice with Titan Managed Technologies LLC for the provision of certain email and computer services, providing for authorization and providing for an effective date. Mayor Diaz. I think we have, here, I'm gonna go ahead and move this item.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Taking it back. Marcos.
How many emails do we have in the city?
Wow.
I don't,
Go ahead. We have quite a bit. We're looking through the system. We're trying to figure out how to best deal with the problems that we've had. And I really didn't want to get into the contractual situations that we have with the copiers, email, internet, everything that we got going. The chief has been leading with Scott and Robert to try to find a way that we could balance and get everything done. As to the amount of emails, what is the total amount? Could you go ahead, stand, please. State your name and address for the record.
Nestor Colon, 500 Southwest 109 Avenue. The rough total is about 200 or something like that. So I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like $17 per email because we have the Microsoft Office license too. So that's why it's.
What other services are being provided? So we have cloud-based, we have email. Are they doing hard drive? Are they doing hardware? What are they doing?
We have the cloud-based case a OneDrive. So that would be like I think it's like 50 gigs per user. We have the Office case, everything like Excel, Word, Outlook, like everything of the Microsoft Office, and we have like mail protection with them too. So it's a pretty good deal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But once again, I want you to understand that we're reviewing everything and trying to stream. We got left with a lot of long-term contracts that we have to look through and deal with and try to improve.
Yeah, this is gonna, I'm sorry, through chair.
go ahead.
This is a $45,000, 800. Is this a 1 year or annually are we gonna?
Yes, it's 1 year.
And then next year we got a budget for this?
Yes.
And my next question, we budgeted?
Every year.
Okay, every year?
Mm-hmm.
And on the contract, are we gonna get paid more every year or just, this is just a flat fee?
Right now, like I don't think like they can like manage to do like a fixed fee because everything changes like all the time. So
There's no way.
The reason it's before you is because it's a contractual agreement. It's done every year. So we can't sit here and say it could change or not change.
Right.
That's up to the market and actually the need. So we could take it from there.
Yes, through the chair.
Go ahead.
The reason why I was asking for the cost of emails is because this is a very cheap contract. I'm actually surprised at the dollar amount of this contract and the services that are being provided. It's too bad that I can't use these services for my private business because I'm actually paying a lot more. That's why I asked the question. So I'm not concerned about the contract. I'm just impressed about the price. So with that, I move.
All right, so I moved the item and Greenwell has seconded.
Second.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Villanueva,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanio,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vallecillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
President Ray,
Yes.
it passes.
Moving on back to H. Ratification of department heads, code requirement. You have any?
I got the only one that's left, and I think he's been sitting around and waiting for ratification. So, Mr. Park Director, you want to come up?
Oh, I don't know about this guy, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
This guy's got a horrible attitude. He's angry all the time.
Alex Duran is, I have not had an issue with him in any way. He has immediately listened to what he needs to do. He was very clear and told me, I do work in the park system. I supervise X amount of people for one of the governments, largest government in the county. And I would tell you, he started under fire immediately. Within 2 days, he started doing one of our largest events. 4th of July. Yeah, 4th of July. And he has not looked back since. He is working with me with an item that you saw. It's basically we haven't got into that item yet. Okay, we'll get to it item now. We have a lot of development in our parks. There was a lot of money put in my former position, as you all know, I put as much money as I could here. And one of the key things we wanted to do was improve the parks tremendously. The parks will be improved, and as we look at things, he has been incredibly professional in the way that the bids have been done, him, Adriana, where she's back there, and of course, Robert also overlooking and so on. And all I continue to make sure that they're expedient in bringing these proposals, but it has not been easy. What was done in the past left out a lot of things that we had to sit back and re-look at and redo, which I'll go into in a little bit. But I brought him forth because I think he's deserving of the position, and I trust him. He's always been straightforward. If he doesn't know something, he tells me. And if he does something that might not, he immediately takes the blame for him or any of the employees. So that's the kind of leadership that I want in our parks, and that's why I put him before you.
And the fade's on point, kid.
Thank you.
Move.
Second.
Roll call. We're all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
That's it.
You don't have to do a roll call.
Want to say anything?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I truly appreciate it, Mayor, Commissioners. I look forward to continuing working with you for the betterment of the community of Sweetwater.
And you are a resident, so you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Homegrown.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, we have Commissioner Arceo. I'll tell you something. Why not? Mr. Parks Director.
Mr. Parks Director, want to say something real quick. Congratulations, very proud of you, and I gotta say, I've never seen our parks cleaner before. So you're doing a great job, thank you.
And open.
And open, and not looking like prisons.
I don't
All right, Mr. Attorney,
Yes, sir.
I have this that we had were given today.
Yes, let me,
I wanted
one
to-
item, that's a pocket item, I
That's the
think.
pocket item.
Mr.
Yes,
Attorney.
I'm already going. So
Yeah, that can be done during your,
his
your
mayor's
report,
report.
the mayor's report.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
This is
You
the
can
one,
actually move the mayor's report up if you would rather.
Yeah,
as
might
soon
as
as I
well
end
just-
the, I'll go ahead and put the mayor's report first. All right, see, we did ratifications. Nominations, consideration, and appointment of members to the Planning and Zoning Board by the City Commission.
Yes.
Anyone, you have one?
Yes, I got one. Rolando Martin. I will give you his information later on tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Think we're good? Nomination, consideration, appointment of member to the Youth Advisory Board. Anyone? No. Nomination, consideration, and appointment of members to the Business Development Advisory Board.
Who are you missing?
Yeah, who are we missing? I think I might be missing.
Yeah, you are missing.
So we have 6 members to the board,
I believe we have 5. We're missing one more.
so we're missing
We're
2.
missing 2 members.
Who are the members?
I believe Commissioner Reese is missing a member as well.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so I created this board. I'm gonna speak to the mayor and convene a meeting soon. Hopefully you guys get involved.
All right.
If not, we
I've
will.
been trying to bring good business, but it's been tough for me so far, so.
All right, next L, nomination, consideration, and appointment of members to the Neighborhood Improvement Advisory Board. Are we good on there? Is anyone missing? All right. How we're gonna go report? I'm gonna be moving the mayor's report first. So we can go ahead and get that one done. Is it okay, Mayor?
give me 1 second. As you got before you, this letter was the contractual agreement that was left from the prior administration to do the park that went out to bid. That was to do the whole Ronzelli with the 2 soccer fields and everything else. I started researching along with our park director and Robert and Adriana and several others, and we started to see that there's a lot of inconsistencies as to maintenance and a lot of things. We don't want to spend the kind of money that this will take to be done to then not have maintenance considered into it for the future, what it entails, how big do the soccer fields have to be, how big do we have to have for softball, baseball, could we move the bases up and down so we could have smaller kids? And then, of course, to a certain age, I think it's 16, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, 16, 17, I'm not sure. For softball, I wanted to make sure that it was request from, I think, Commissioner Villanueva to move the net up, so in case, we don't want to have balls hitting the houses. But there was a lot of things to be done, and this contract was just limited to certain things. So therefore, due to the need, we had to go ahead and look at a bigger scale, include, because the actual, what do you call it, the sand that is used, the orange sand.
Clay.
Clay, I'm sorry. Clay, better said. Actually, that's what it is. The clay, if it would have got onto the field of the AfroTurf type thing, it could have damaged the field. So therefore, we had to look and to do away with that and to determine. So many different changes and questions came up because for every action, you have many reactions. So we have to make sure what we're going to do is the best thing we can do for our citizens. And that park has suffered closed for too long. And when it used to be one of the most vibrant, participating parks that there was out there. So therefore, what I came up with a conclusion is to take the top vendors that bidded on this and to go ahead and negotiate with them and to try to come out like it's done in the county and elsewhere, to try to come out with a price based on a design build, thank you. So design built, and we're able to now do something complete. As you can see the change already in the tot lot, as we call it, in that area. It's growing, it's gonna come out beautiful, and so on. So every other area, including the racquetball courts, how much are they used? Are they used enough? That's something that we sat and looked at compared to the basketball courts. The basketball courts are used constantly there. So what can we do to improve those basketball courts? Do we add any other type of courts? Or do we go ahead and do another soccer field separate for the smaller kids there? So there's a lot of things. So what we did is these two companies, go ahead and design. I need the approval from you all. I brought the contractual agreement. Robert went ahead and reviewed it with our attorney, and the gentleman signed off to what we had signed before. Am I correct, Mr. Attorney?
Yeah. So the document you have in front of you, first off, the RFP that was drafted by Robert contained a provision where we could terminate it out of convenience. Out of convenience means what it sounds like. We just want to terminate it. There's no need that's required. The provision did require, however, 30 days notice, and then Jose Angel Bustos, the head of the successful building company Acre Engineering Construction, graciously agreed to waive the 30-day requirement, and he signed this document, which essentially is a release. So that agreement and that bid that he was the successful bidder on is past history. It's done. We can now move forward.
And I wanted to clear that real fast with you because I want to negotiate as fast as possible. These things take a long time. The fields are very delicate. One of the things that I found out is that the drainage that this field will have is very sensitive. And Virginia Gardens, if you have time, go by Virginia Gardens' field. It's beautiful. Okay, it's absolutely beautiful, very versatile. When it's soccer time, they're able to paint many fields in that particular area. When it's baseball time, they could do the baseball fields. We want to have that versatility within our own system. Besides that, we want to make sure that we deal with many different ages. And it's not going to be easy, but this is what it's all about. But we want to get it going, and we want to get this done sooner than later. Rosselli Park is moving. You guys have given me permission for that. We're doing the 6 what do you call it, pickleball courts.
Pickleball.
And we shall be challenging a couple of you to a couple of games out
Careful.
there. You know,
Careful.
but also we're gonna do
Bombero,
the
that's all they
best. We'll need them around in case we drop, by the way. So
Yeah,
the
I think so.
basketball court over there is being sized down a little bit, but it will be because we don't want to hurt the tree that's there. So why am I saying that side? Because that side we're moving on and see without problem. This, I want to see what the best that they could design for us, and based on that, then I'll bring that particular one of the two that I consider to be the best with the little committee that I have putting together. I'll bring it before this commission, get it approved as soon as possible. Hopefully they could get that bid as soon as possible. Besides that, another key element it's that we're looking at, and we're looking at grants, but at the same time, security is very important nowadays with our kids. Also to use the park, that's one of those parks that gonna be used to a certain time of night. And we wanna make sure that the right illumination is done, so we're looking at all new lights. And we're looking not only on all new lights, but we're looking at also cameras to make sure our parks are protected also for vandalism and certain things. So there's a lot of it going on. I know that the chief created a watch order of our parks to make sure vandalism is something that does not happen. Unfortunately, certain people see brand new stuff and they have to do stuff. So altogether, there's a lot of changes and a lot of moving parts in all this. So this is why I need your motion so I could go ahead forward. You want to address the motion or?
I don't think so at this point. I think that the motion will simply be to give you authority to go ahead and negotiate the remainder of the transaction. But at this point, since there's nothing to bring to them financial,
Simple to the point.
yeah, there's nothing further to do at this point other than that, to give the mayor the authority to negotiate on behalf of the city for the parks.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There it is.
All right.
Got it.
We got
Another, and we're in the mayor's report, so you got something
Yeah,
else?
another, on the mayor's report. I wanna thank not only the police department, Deputy Chief Gill that, led on his side, 10 men, I believe. 10 men, including yourself.
Nine-ish.
To Perry, Florida. To Perry, Florida.
Don't go there.
To, along with our maintenance director and Bucci, that also went along also. We had 4 of you that joined. Thank you. Isidro, thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir, for
Saul.
inviting us.
And also our paramed that joined
Very,
and
very
made sure that we got things, everybody was good. And then also our president, thank you for joining and the work that was done. We brought 5 tractor trailers, for those of you that might not know, and for the citizens that are listening or paying attention to this meeting. We brought 5 tractor trailers. The GEM, which is Global Empowerment Mission, needed those 5 tractor trailers there. So they could start giving food. That was the first of the bulkhead that was created, and the city of Sweetwater did the escorting. We drove all night long. We did not stop, and we got there, fueled a couple of times, and I will tell you that I could not thank everybody, and of course I'm sorry, Paola that went with us too, that made sure that the coverage was viewed and people knew back home what we were doing, which was important. I'm not missing anybody else, am I?
Yes, you're missing the machine shop, Sergio Diaz. For the Sergio Diaz.
Oh, Cejito.
He saved us on a,
And we got a flat there too.
on a flat.
With all due respect to our paramed that went with us and commissioner and everything else that took care of business when we were there, but Cejito saved us from waiting a couple of hours to change a tire and to do that too. So we had Sergio, thank you for because having a mechanic along with us on the trip
Yep.
was very important. But thank you. So this was important. Sweetwater has never shied away from helping other cities or other people. Today we remember 9/11, the towers that were cowardly attacked, the U.S. cowardly attacking not only the towers but 3 other places that were attacked.
We were there.
I led a mission with Senator Rudy Garcia, along with state attorney's personnel and our police chief and several officers went together, and we did logistics for directly from Rudy Giuliani. That was very thankful for us being there for about 3 or 4 days. And we got to experience the disaster in real life. That was me as a mayor, but we have never faced away from helping people since the days of Andrew to whatever days come in the future. I want to thank this commission for being so supportive and being there to make sure that from now on, we as, this is a team, but Sweetwater will always be where we could lift our name high and make sure that other people know who we are too and what we do and help out. I've been to a lot of disasters around the world. I mean, recently, as you know, I was in Poland and Ukraine after things started. So I've seen the very worst, and we pray the very best for people. And this is what I thank you again, because it's very important to say thank you. So to those 9 officers and the chief, thank you. Paola, thank you. Cejito, thank you. Commissioners, thank you. And thank you for not letting me get in trouble with the heavy boxes. So those of you that were there know. So with that, that was one of the key things I wanted to say. And now one thing that's coming in the future that is on a day that we give tribute to is Veterans Day, which is the 11th of November. Please mark that on your calendar, where that's going to be all hands on deck. As I told most of you in person, I think all of you, that is going to be a Veterans Day festival in the city of Sweetwater. We are shutting down a Flagler, from Flagler to 4th Street on a 107. We're going to be shutting down so we could have a great event like the way it used to be done in the city. So I know a lot of people want the streets shut down for different types of events, but you know, we're not the little city anymore, and we have 107th is a main avenue, very busy. Flagler is a main street. We can't do that too many times. So we're working with the state. Robert is seeking out. We're getting the proper permits through our building department. We're doing everything by the book. And we're making sure that the military, from Homestead Air Force Base, the Coast Guard, Southcom, the Marine Corps Annex, all the different, they're all going to be notified. I put a committee together, and that committee is helping me do this event. We are seeking funding, and we're working as best as possible. I think our greatest tribute is to those that give us the freedom, that put their lives for all of us, and those that go out and sacrifice at all times. I'm proud to be a veteran myself, but I'm more proud of those that went out in combat and gave all of it for all of us. So freedom is not free. Somebody along the line paid for that. So as a community, as a city, I don't think that we could ask for a better event to be done in the city of Sweetwater. So again, I need all your support and moving forward on that. The Halloween event, I will be working, I think the mall has a Halloween house, Dolphin Mall. I believe I'm working 2 days that the city of Sweetwater could send their residents to and the kids for free. I know that Alan puts out an incredible haunted house, but it takes up almost a month of that building and so on. I will suggest that this year, they've offered those 2 days for us for zero payment for our residents. So I'm looking into that and seeing if that could be done, so we don't have to tie up our Jorge Macanosa Youth Center for a month and something at the end of the day. So that's something that I'll be working and following up with you guys. And the last thing, is Annette here? No, she couldn't make it. Okay. At our elderly center, all of you know this, but I'll repeat it for the public, obviously. I've looked into improving that center as much as possible. We are moving on it. Annette Perez is the person that we put in there in the senior center, and we have she's done an incredible start. She comes from working in that type of business, but with elderly in a place in Coral Gable. But she's a good lady, and the elderly have immediately taken a liking. I know there's certain people that are there all the time, and I appreciate it because I get a lot of heads up on some things, and the chief is playing with the lights.
Trying to get out of here?
Is this the last call?
Let's go.
Chief, you're about to lose a star. So, with that said and done, it is important. There's a young lady that's called Paola Serena that's here. Paola, at least stand so people get to at least meet you. And so she is now the person in charge of the media, as we discussed. So if there's any issues or anything's coming your way, let me know. She's here to make sure that we always have our best leg forward in the media. So I thank her for being on board with us. So with that, that's it on my part as a report. I think I spoke a lot, but I think there's important things to get out there. So with that, keep going. Now, the reports from the rest, you saw them there listed. I didn't have time to put my report on. But if you have any ideas, I know that the chief that was turning off the light, I think he has nothing to say. Am I correct, Chief?
Yes, sir, I do have something to say.
Oh, there you go.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mayor, are you done with your reports?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move.
So I'm sorry.
1 second, Chief.
Richard. Mayor, that you would say something about the elderly. Anything about their buses, the new buses that we have?
2 buses already. We had hired another driver. Something came back, so we cannot hire that person. So therefore, we're looking for another driver because the 2 new buses are getting striped with our name on it. And they're ready to go. But I want to make sure that, we get another bus driver. So we should have them on the road pretty soon.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to find the right person because our elderly is very important.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Wait for the new decal for that one. We gotta wait for the new seal. All right, so we're moving over to the next report will be police report. Chief?
Good evening, Chief Sergio Diaz. I just wanted to make sure that you got in your package the new way we're doing our reports. So I'm going to give you the highlights. I'm not going to read it tonight, but so you guys know what we've done for the month. Adding to, you had a question about the dogs. We are adding the Bloodhound, which is being donated by the Jimmy Rice Foundation. That'll be in the next few months. So we'll have the Bloodhound, which is a great tool. Also, the first day of school, it was a success. We did our traffic enforcement, and we went out to the school, especially Sweetwater Elementary, and it was a huge success. Everybody was safe, and everything went really well. And that's about it. I just wanted to make sure you all knew about the new report. If you want anything added on to this, just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next reports, Parks and Recreation report. Think they're here, they're attached? I don't think they are, sorry.
If you have anything on anybody, they'll stand up and give you whatever
Yeah.
question or report you.
No, I saw the reports there.
Okay.
Good job. Maintenance Department report is on. City's Attorney's report. You have anything?
Just
Mr.
very
City
quickly,
Attorney?
I have filed one of the three. I've been authorized to file 3 code enforcement foreclosure matters. I filed one. The other 2 should be filed quickly. This Friday, I expect to file the initial brief in the appeal regarding the Lieutenant's Police Union. So that should be filed this Friday, hopefully. That's the deadline, and I should be able to meet it. If not, I'll file it by Monday, because it's already mostly written. I met 2 weeks ago and negotiated. I met with IUPAT, the civilian union, and for a bargaining session. We had an excellent bargaining session. I think we've come to agreement on virtually everything. They have said that they were going to come back on a couple of matters, and we're going to have one matter reviewed by their legal department. So we're probably going to need one more bargaining session, but at that point we'll have a tentative CBA that the union can take to its membership, and then upon that we can take to the commission for approval, if assuming everything goes as I expect it will. And then finally, last week I met with the chief of police and the command staff in order to go through the police collective bargaining agreement, and hope to begin negotiating that in the next month or so. For both the IUPAT and the PBA, just so you're aware, I've either negotiated or participated in the negotiation of every single one of them since 2007. And my role has depended on whether the mayor wanted me to be the lead negotiator or to be an advisor to whoever was the lead negotiator. In both of these negotiations, the mayor has the mayor has placed a great deal of trust in me and has authorized me as the lead negotiator, and I thank you for that, sir. That's I hope not to let you down.
All right.
Thank you.
By the way, you've done a great job, and him and Scott, and making sure we're trying to be as fair as possible, as he stated.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's all working just right, and we should have, again, what's the last one?
The police collective bargaining agreement was the last one that I mentioned.
No, for the UP, for the
UPAT?
general employees.
Oh, the IUPAT.
The
The
UPAT.
IUPAT union, yes.
When is the last?
Well, we haven't set the next negotiating session,
Right.
but it should be in the next, I would imagine it'll be sometime before, so probably sometime even this month, I think.
Okay, good. Yeah, I want to get that done as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, now to Commissioner's report. I want to add something to this report, and I want to, it's one thing I've been catching it since I've been president of the commission, and I show respect to everyone, and everyone has shown respect. One thing I do want to put in for all of us is the way we go through the chair. I know we ask through the chair, and I recognize you and you go. We've had some that have asked for through the chair, they just start talking without being recognized. One of the routes we're gonna go in now that I would like to implement is I'm gonna try to keep my head on a swivel, see who needs to be recognized. When that person, I'll keep you on a queue and call you out. I'm gonna give an explanation. Ian asked through the chair, raised his hand. I'll put him on a queue. After the next person, once he's yielded to the floor, I'll go ahead and call in the next person. Because I'm getting through the chair here, talking through the chair, talking, and we're kind of bumping heads against each other. So just to keep it on that note, if you can, once we read an item, we'll go ahead. If you need to be recognized, you'll be recognized. I'll keep my hand on the swivel, make sure I catch everyone, put you on the queue. Once one is done, I'll go ahead to the next one. It's one of my things I wanted to add to this in the commissioner's report.
So you want to present that as your change to the way we conduct business?
Correct. Just wanted, it's not trying to change much. It's just the way that, we go ahead and ask through the chair, through the chair and through the chair. That's just one thing that we're getting mixed
You
up.
want us to raise our hands?
No, once I read an item, I'll go ahead and swivel around. You told me we want to speak. I'll go ahead, put you on a queue. Once I'll go ahead and call your name out, and then once you yield, I'll go on to the next one that had asked for the chair.
So how do you know when somebody wants to speak?
Like I said, you go ahead and raise your hand
You want us to raise our hands?
and I'll keep it on the swivel, and you go ahead and raise your hand.
Do you want us to still say it through the chair?
I think we should further discuss this, but I don't like that.
So we don't ask the floor anymore?
I don't like, Robert's rule is through the chair, which means now you write our name, you put us on a queue, as you say.
Correct.
But me standing there like this?
No, you're not gonna be standing like that. You
Me,
go ahead.
just waiting.
Just let me know. Hey, I need to speak on it.
I don't like it.
Okay. Well, then, if we slow down how we call through the chair, and because right now what's going on, it happened a few times today. Not calling under anyone's name, and it's happened in the past where through the chair I need to speak on this without, and there's no time. If the mayor is speaking, it's the floor. He's on the floor. But then they want to rebuttal.
I'm guilty, Mr. President. I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
So I understand that because if I may, sorry.
Go ahead.
See, I was just guilty of it right now. So with that, I went through that, and I went through that with 13 individuals plus a mayor, including myself. So I understand exactly what you're saying because you don't want to lose control or not call that person. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if you tell me to do this, I'll do that real fast to recognize me, and then you put my name down. But I understand what you're asking for. You got your commission there. But as far as I'm concerned, I have no problem with that because I had to implement something similar than that.
Yeah, one of the things I'm saying is because let's say right now Commissioner Villanueva is speaking on something and someone wants to rebuttal. What's been going on is, I'm going to put you as an example, not saying you, but Diaz would say through the chair, Marcos Zagnak, and there's no control on that. We're all here, we all know each other, but they get kind of back and forth, and I want everyone to have their time and be recognized. I think it's pretty simple. I don't know if everyone understands what I'm trying to do.
Through the chair. So I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying to be adversarial. It's just I took a lot of effort to try to implement Robert's rule on this dais because the way that this commission conducted itself prior to my arrival was a joke. People didn't speak English. People would scream. People would cry. I saw a commissioner turn around, have a full-fledged phone conversation while we're conducting business. It took me a long time to help establish this discipline that we have. You as president, I think you do a good job. If you see that somebody is overstepping their boundaries, if you see that somebody is over-speaking, you have the full authority as the presiding officer to very politely reprimand that individual by saying, hold on, he's got the floor. I just want to maintain decorum, and I don't want to sit there and, when we say through the chair, it's out of respect where we're not speaking unless you authorize us to speak. Whoever does not say through the chair means they're not respecting your authority.
No, it's not only just through the chair. They're just doing through the chair and then they continue speaking.
Then you put your foot down and say.
I just didn't want to. I'm not trying to be rude or anyone, here, but trying to stop someone from that. I don't want to sound rude and make, someone.
I get what you're saying, and you're extremely.
I'm just trying to, be, professional, and you let me know once I read an item if you can. You let me know. I'll keep my hand on the swivel if you want to give it. I see a hand raised already. Mr. Mayor.
I learn fast. One of the things that I want to get some. Isn't it through Mr. President? It's Robert's rules. Is because he's a president. He's not a chairman.
Well, the president, the office is president, but he's effectively acting as chair. He's
but a
chairing the
chair.
meeting.
Because I also know Robert's rules inside out,
Mhm.
and I remember Robert's rule very clearly because I sat in that seat for a long time, and it was always Mr. President and ask for the floor.
Right.
So it's 100% correct because we used to have some ugly
Correct.
moments.
Correct.
So it's a weird way to keep it, whatever way you guys want it, but I always understood it was the president, because when you go and get elected, you don't get elected as chairman, you get elected as president and vice president. So just the core between you guys, that's fine. But I always answer you as Mr. President, you know.
Correct.
So I try to keep it within those boundaries. But wherever way you want, I will oblige by telling you chairman or president. But I just want to make sure that I don't offend the
Yeah,
office.
just trying to keep it. You know, you know, you don't have people screaming and just trying to call out and you know rebuttal on someone. That's just me. I mean, I don't know what you guys have in.
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
So, maybe I'm not making myself clear. I have enough confidence in you for you to do your job, and I haven't seen you not do your job, which is why I'm a little confused. I think you're insanely polite. I think you're very professional. I've never seen you, hey, but if you have to, very politely, hold on, you know, somebody's talking, and do it. That's why we put you there. That's why I put you there.
We'll go ahead.
So that's why I'm a little confused. Like, I have the confidence in you, but you're trying to change what is working.
We'll go ahead and leave it for the
You know
next.
what I mean?
If I see it again, I'll call it out. So
Yeah.
we'll just stay with it.
Throw a paper. at
Next.
somebody, or a pen.
Do you have anyone else for commissioner's report?
No, I don't have nothing.
No? All right, so elderly service program report. Building and zoning report, it's on. Code compliance report, it's on. Finance, we have our finance reports. City clerk's report,
It is there.
thank you. And human resources report is also there. Unfinished business, new business, good of the order, adjournment. All in favor?
No, we got an
No
older
meeting.
report for every single department.